Hello?
Yo, Mike.
What's going on?
I just talked to my guy at National Integrity Title.
Okay.
In Mount Laurel. He said that they do sub-2 deals.
Celebration.
Okay, so you got you. So how they've done a bunch before?
Yeah, he said I just asked him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Whatever.
Oh, that's
I just asked him. Hold on 1 second.
Are you serious? Do you want to see what I got, you guys? Sure. Yeah. So I picked up a present.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, listen, I'm on a Zoom call, man. Let me call you back.
Oh, all right.
All right, bye.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cute.
Are you there?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Alejandra, okay.
Guys, are you gonna help decorate or what?
Nice. What's going on?
I know, you tell me. I need some training. I don't know what I'm doing.
You got a full house, huh? What's going on in your house? How many people you got?
I have 4. Well, my husband just left, so now I'm stuck with the 2 kids. She's 9 and he's 13.
With the 2 kids. Okay, yeah, we got I got 3 little ones downstairs. I'm in my office right now. Wife's downstairs, got some dogs. So you can see my screen, right?
I am seeing your screen, yeah.
All right, cool. So then what we're going to be looking at there, I think it's this one right here. Yeah, right. So I guess you talked to this guy and he only wants a cash buyer, and he was really short with you. Like, tell me about that.
No, which one is that one? Let me see.
Leah,
No, he was actually nice. He explained to me the whole thing. He doesn't want to use a realtor. He doesn't want to pay the 6%. He's just looking for cash buyers. He walked me pretty much through his whole house, told me all the renovations he made. He told me what he wants us to offer him. And that's what's been happening a lot. Like, I talk to all these people, and they're telling me what they want and everything, but then I get stuck because I don't know what the next step is. Like, I don't know where to go from there.
Okay. So what you really have to do is get really good at there's 2 things. Is listening. It's asking questions and listening. So what we're every seller kind of has like an objective that they want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's sometimes it's just money. Sometimes we just have to ask better questions. Somebody like this person right here, like what was their asking price?
It shows up there. He was asking for the same amount.
$349.
Right.
Okay. So what you got to get used to doing is making sure that your leads are clean, that you're working in. So the fact that you're working with this guy right now, let's just put it in working roster. Okay, this is a person that you don't want anybody reaching out to them like by mistake. You don't want anybody like calling them up and stealing a deal from you. So while you're negotiating with them, you got an active conversation that goes in your working roster. That's the only area that basically nobody else is going to touch. Okay.
Right. So I mean, I see the lead status, but I don't really know what they all mean. So that will mean that I'm working with that person and no one else is.
Yep.
Can you hold on for me 1 second?
Sure.
Sorry.
That's cool.
You were saying?
Oh no, just the lead status. So I mean, look, to the really quick rundown, and this stuff is, I believe it's in a video. There's a Podio video in the training. Did you got the training email, right?
I did, the one that you made, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. So in the training video, there's a portion where it goes through kind of all these different lead statuses and everything like that. But the ones you really got to worry about are their fish on really is reserved for like the newer leads. That's kind of like, hey, this is a hot lead. Fish on typically stays there for like 6-7 days, and then it gets moved to a new lead, no contact. So these are kind of the similar.
So if it's a fish on, can I jump on it? Because I'm only working on the leads that David is sending me.
You could go here. This is obviously going to be, you can go here, but only if it's yours. You can go here. Ghosting us means like the guy just stopped answering the phone. There's only a couple of those right now. And then you can go here, Ready Player 2. Ready Player 2s are like, meaning like, let's say I talked to a guy, made an offer on it, and like he just he didn't take my offer. So Ready Player 2 means like I failed. Maybe somebody else can go in, and maybe they don't like a guy from Jersey. Maybe they like a female voice. Maybe they like a black guy. Maybe they like a guy from South Philly. You know what I mean? So like this stuff is all like, people are people, and they respond differently to different people. You know what I mean? So like that's why Dave's like, hey, I think a female touch would work good on this, because it's true. Irene would be like getting deals that like they just didn't like me. And it was all based on just, it's asking good questions, but the rapport starts with, that when you're talking to them, and so that does matter. So long-term LTFU means long-term follow-up. Dead is dead. Dead is reserved for like the property is sold. There's, basically like there's no way we're going to get this. If somebody tells me they're not looking to sell, then I'm going to put them in long-term follow-up, because for me, like, just because somebody says they're not looking to sell, that means that they're just not looking to sell today. It's certainly not a dead lead. So, and then verbal offer made, that's like if I make an offer on somebody that will get thrown. This is rarely used. Contract out is used for generating contracts, and then once it's signed, it goes to signed. Once we close the deal, it goes to closed. Sometimes guys will put in request credit, lead status, if I need to request a credit. But if somebody, basically all these leads, if they come in, I'm on top of most of them, but if it's 7 days old on a web lead, I don't really want to get into it too much, but we get credits on certain leads, if they're not selling, or, they're a wholesaler or something like that. Okay. So the ones you really, if you want to look in realtor, those are your listing leads, if you want to try to go after listings. And then portfolio is the portfolio team. That means like, maybe what if you get a lead that's like a big, garage or something like that, like a commercial property. Just send it over to portfolio, because like we don't really, don't even try to comp it. You know what I mean? Like it's really like over your head. Try to stick to single family. If it's like a, apartment building, something like that, just hit portfolio and tag Roman and Jeff, and they can take a look at that. All right. So the main thing you got to be concerned with is this first kind of row, fish ons and everything. I actually see when I do this, does it shrink? Yeah, it goes on a different level. So, but for this lead right here, like I'm gonna click on the Zillow thing right here, and you can see the pictures. For sale by owner, he's asking $349,000. It's a rent. Like I'll just take this. No photocopied checks. What is this? No. So he's been trying to sell this since November. You see that?
Yeah.
No photocopied checks. Cash offers must be accompanied by proof of funds. Okay, whatever. So they're obviously been trying to sell this for a while. But that's the only ones right there, and it says for sale by owner. The only pictures. So I'm gonna just copy this right here and like put it in headlines. Andre Goodman, by the way, that's the guy that gives Anthony all these leads. and he says, hey, check this out. So we know it's a single family. We don't know if it's vacant or anything. Property needs extensive updating, only cash offers, blah, blah, blah. Must be prepared to close by December 1st, 2011.
Oh boy.
What? That's insane. So I don't know what the hell that, I mean, what have they been trying to sell it for that long? It's only been on Zillow for 31 days.
So I guess that was like an old listing that just populated.
Yeah. And then what the heck is Cruise Town? That is so weird. So anyway, so let's do it. Let's run some comps for this thing and like, let's see if it's even worth it. So did you run comps on this?
No, I did not.
Okay. Oh, also because you're talking to them, you got to hit stop here. Okay. So
what is that?
This is the automatic follow-ups. So like every new lead that comes in, it goes on an automatic follow-up. So day 1, they're going to get a text message. They're going to get an email. Day 2, they're going to get like a ringless voicemail saying like, hey, call me back. Day 3, they might get like a text. Day 4, it's a 6-day follow-up. So if you're talking to them or if you establish contact, then you're going to want to stop the follow-up because you don't want this thing running.
Gotcha.
Because like you're talking to them and then the next day it's going to be like, hey, is the property available? Like,
yeah,
you didn't
it doesn't make
that.
sense.
Right, exactly. So you said here that the guy has a tenant and was very short. So it's tenant occupied.
No, that wasn't me. I think that was before. When I talked to the guy, he said he doesn't have a tenant and it's them living in the house.
It's vacant?
No, it's them. So it's owner occupied.
Okay. Do you know what why are they selling?
He did not say why. He just told me that he fixed, what I put, like he fixed the whole basement. Right. He redoed the garage and made it an office, and he would sell me all the upgrades he made to the house.
So you're gonna write that stuff here. So you're basically what you want to do is like these are your questions. Like, hey, tell me about the property. Why are you looking to sell? What's your timeline? Okay, so what happens when you sell? What happens if you don't sell?
Yeah, because if you see, I wrote that on the notes. So instead of doing the notes, I have to put on the other side. That one.
So this right here, he had many interested. 3.5 baths, 4 bed.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, so, that's what he said. It's 3.5 baths, 4 beds, and then
make
downstairs.
Sure you update this over here. 5. Look at this. 3.5. That's really crazy. 3.5 bathrooms. It's a smaller house to have that many bathrooms. And then you put the only lien is a mortgage. So I just put the mortgage price in here, right here.
Okay.
And we don't have to worry. There's no judgments. There's nothing like that. So really you want to get used to like using this, for like headlines. I can put this in headlines right here. You know what I mean? So what do you want to do? And then, so really you just want to figure out what the play is, you know what I mean? So us, like what we do is we give them multiple options. So what I would do is I would just run in comp it real quick and and then you can just take this and copy right here, paste. Okay, closed. I go back a year. I mean, this day and age, like, it gives me a little bit better. I mean, we have a lot of results in this little area. So you could tell, like, this is Northeast Philly. So Northeast Philly, this is Bustleton, I guess. You got a lot more, like, neighborhood types up in this area. Like, there's actually houses. So, we want to kind of stay in the neighborhood in order to do comps. So, like, I'll just take this little area right here. And that's what I kind of want to look at right there. So, but then I mean, let me look at the satellite, and you could see like these are kind of similar. So maybe like to get more comps, like you know how to do comps, right?
I'm learning.
Okay, cool. That's good. And then so then I'll just like kind of include like these ones over here because they're really kind of similar looking, size, style, the size of and the style of neighborhood. Like, see, these are like narrow lots, and like these are like twins. You see?
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to comp any of this stuff. but this is going to be enough data for me. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 results.
Uh-huh.
That's not too bad. These are even a different style houses. See how they're closer together?
Yeah, they look like they have smaller lots, right?
Yeah, and like this is a similar neighborhood too. So we might even include like you could just in order to beef up the amount of comps that I'm looking at, I can even like add this neighborhood over here.
So usually how many do you need to kind of have an idea?
You want to have 10, but
10.
all you need, like I want to be looking at like 10 results, but all I need to make an accurate comp is I need 3.
Okay.
All right, so you see I made my shape. So that's good. Now we could go back to the map view, and this is a lot of results. So like to trim down the amount of results, you could do a couple things. So basically our house was 1,300 square feet. So I'm going to go to square footage. It's in here somewhere above grade, 1,300 feet. So we go 1,100 to 200 up, 200 down.
Okay.
Well, oh, okay. 1,300 to 15. So it's 1,300 square foot house. So I'm going to go, now we have 7 results. That's actually a good amount. So I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to hit results and I hit.
Do you care about how many bathrooms and bathrooms or not really, or just the square footage?
Yeah, beds and baths definitely matter, but square footage is more important because you can have a 2,000 square foot 3-bed, you know what I mean? And you can have a 1,200 square foot 4-bed. So like which house is worth more? You know what I mean? The bigger house is worth more.
Right.
It's just kind of how it goes. Square footage is more important than the beds and baths. Now, obviously, like it's really like neighborhood to neighborhood. So because we're dealing with a 4-bed, I think we're dealing with a 4-bed, right? Yeah, it's a 4, 3.5. Like that's
well,
crazy.
he said 3.5, and then he said there's 2 more in the basement. So that's what I'm thinking. They got the 5-bedroom that they were talking before.
Yeah, that really doesn't count. I mean, look, this says 7 bedrooms, 5 baths. Like that's insane.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know what I mean? Like that's really crazy. You can't count beds in the basement. It's just not. They're not legal.
Oh, really?
Bedrooms. Yeah, you can like count them as beds, but like you have to have. So the law is anything that's in order to count a bedroom in a basement, you have to have an egress window. An egress window means that you could escape out of there if there was a fire. So legally, you're not allowed to like house people in the basement if there's no escape because it's a fire hazard.
Gotcha. Now, when he said that there's an entrance to the basement from the back, then that will be their escape. So then
but you still have to have a egress window. So you have to have 2. There's got to be 2 ways out. You can't.
Okay.
If there was a fire in front of the door, you have to have another way out. You know what I mean? So like in a basement bedroom, like as long as you have a bedroom door leading out that you can escape, and you have a window that you can escape out of. Now there's 2 egresses. There's 2 escape routes. So that's like fire safety 101 for housing.
And tell me, that's New Jersey NPA?
That's the United States. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is like what we're looking at in this neighborhood. So the guy is asking $349,000. Like, bro, like look at this. Look what we're looking at. In the last 12 months, the highest price property sold is $315,000. And that was a 1,479 square foot. So like this is the highest per square foot. If you even go price per square foot, $234. Like your house is not worth that much. It will never appraise for that much, ever. No appraiser would appraise this house more than $300,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what you have going on. It doesn't matter. And even if like, let's take these restrictions away and let's go back to the results. And I could even like say to the guy, like, buddy, here, let me give him a like the house that sold for 445, or it's actually pending. The highest closed in the neighborhood is at 410. And that's a 2,151 square foot property. You know what I mean? It's a different style property. Where's the square footage? Above grade square foot is 2151. Sometimes in Philly, you got to watch out because they'll count if the basement, like let's say at a rancher, 1,300 square foot rancher, they'll like say my house is 2,600 square feet, even though because they're counting the basement.
Okay.
But like this house is 400,000, but dude, it's double the size and it's all rehabbed.
Yeah, completely renovated.
Right. So it's like a different, yeah, like people do like ranchers, but they also, this split level style is an attractive style for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
split living spaces, and you have two family room downstairs, and then there's the living room. So you could see kind of what's going on in the neighborhood. So like for this guy, like it just doesn't make any sense. And then if we even want to break it down further, you can go price per square foot. So 234, that was at 1,300. So the highest possible amount that an appraiser would push this thing to would be 305.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I don't even think this guy's house is worth 305. Like I bet you these are real nice. So this guy is just crazy. Like, look, it's finished. It's a rehab. It's a lower grade rehab, but it's still finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this guy's a little crazy. I would just move on. Like, to me, I'm telling the guy, like, look, man, I hear you. You're trying to get 349, but looking at what's going on in the neighborhood, you're never going to appraise for 349. That just doesn't make any sense. And you're going to be on the market forever. Are you okay with being on the market forever? Yeah. Okay, cool, man. We'll see you in like a year. So
let's say he says to me, make me an offer. Like, how do I know how to make him an offer, and like, what will our prices be?
okay, so here's your two comps. It's either both
Uh-huh.
one level ranchers, and this one's a 4.2.5. It's 305,000. So say here's what's going on, buddy. Like I got a house here. Let's see what they bought it for. You can hit the little H, and you could see if it was a rehab. So you could see that they bought it for 225 in 2016, and then they resold it for 305. But it looks like they, in 2016, this is not a rehab. They basically lived in it for a little while, and then they sold it. Maybe they rented out, something like that. So in this area, we're gonna just do it what makes sense. So I'm gonna break out the calculator and I'm put 305,000 times 0.7, and that's 213. And then we're gonna subtract the rehab budget. So like, dude, a house like this, I'm gonna look at the pictures. Yeah, it's like nicer tile floor. Maybe you keep that. Most people, I mean, they don't want tile like this much tile. Tile in the kitchen is okay, but like tile to go across the, in the dining room and everything, people really don't like it. It's actually okay. Like this is decent tile work. This is a decent surface. I think that might be granite. It's definitely dated though. You have nice features. Like there's a vaulted ceiling here. You can see like this is a nice big open room.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think on a cash offer, I mean, the property's worth 305 at the end of the day. You could say, look, man, here's what the property, if you really want to sell the property, like, look, I'm going to help you out. Your property value is worth 300,000 to a person that's going to buy it and live in it. Okay. So your 349, that's not going to happen. Like even if somebody buys it for 349, the appraiser is going to come and appraise it at 300,000. Okay, so what that means, Mr. Seller, is whoever the hell's buying your house better be coming up with $50,000 right off the bat. Now, this guy is saying that the property needs repairs and he wants a cash buyer only. So you got to explain to him and just say, look, man, the cash buyers, like you're not going to find a cash buyer that's going to pay full price for the house. Like who's sitting there with $300,000 cash? 349. I'm sorry. That's probably why he's trying to sell for 349. So, cash offer for this 305 times 0.7 is 213. On a cash offer, you're still going to have to do some kind of repairs. So even if you only did 20,000, like this house is actually pretty decent. your cash offer is basically, that's 213. So I did 300,000 times 0.7. That's 213. Then 213 minus 23,000 gives you 190. Then you have to subtract a wholesale fee of 10,000. Now you're at 180. Okay.
Okay.
So basically that's the cash offer. So what I would say is, like, you know, if you want cash, close quick, you know, you're probably looking at 180. Obviously we got this coronavirus thing going on, you know, so that's an issue in itself. And you can even look at this map. I just want to see what's available. You got 249 and 329. So there's a 249, a bigger house listed right now for $100,000 less than yours, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? And it's actually decent. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is like the data that you bring to this guy. Like, look, man, I can move into this neighborhood right now. I could probably make an offer on this guy for like 225,000, and I could end up getting a bigger house for $120,000 less than what you're asking for.
Gotcha.
So is your house worth $120,000 more? I don't think so. This doesn't look like that much square feet, though. I don't know how they.
Yeah, that one looks like really tiny, but you don't know again if it has a basement or not.
Well, no, but it says 1566 in the public records. I don't know where the square footage is. So maybe they counted that. No, it's not finished. So anyway, so that's what I'm going at, and I'm going to say, look, you know, if you really do want to sell it, man, you could end up listing it, but at the end of the day, transfer tax, when it's all said and done, you know, I can get you a seller estimated net, what you're going to be walking away with, but that's what's going on. So these types, you really just got to move on quickly. So in our job, like at the end of the day, I don't care what you're doing, listing or if you're buying at a wholesale level. You have to establish two things: motivation and ability, right? So if they have the ability to sell and they have the motivation, then we can do business. We're gonna get a deal done. You know what I mean? This guy doesn't want to sell. I'm telling you that right now. Like, he has no motivation. This is a make me sell kind of number.
Okay.
Make me move. Make me move. You know?
No, yeah, agreed.
You know, and then this guy over here, you had another one, and here's I'm going to show you how I navigate around too. So like this screen right here, leads. You can go to working roster and you can see like what your working roster is. I clicked here, you saw that?
Yeah.
And now I can click here and add a filter, acquisitions manager. And then that's you. So you only have 2 leads assigned to you right now.
No, I have more than that.
Well, so you only have 2 that are in working roster.
Oh, okay.
Now, I think Dave, oh wait, no, that's, in here? Yeah.
And leads. I think I go to leads.
No. So let me just show you this. So Dave made a video of how to navigate around Podio, and it's right here. Create and manage your Podio pipeline. Okay. So this, and he tagged you in it right here 2 days ago. So this is.
I saw that one.
Yeah. So that's how you manage your Podio pipeline. That's how you get everything, really just get a really good handle on how to work Podio. So it's important that you understand the basics and then kind of go from there. And you're always going to be learning. You're never going to be perfect and ready. And, you just have to go. And then, you'll learn as you go.
Right. No, my big question was like how to do the math, because like I said, he's been tagging me in all these leads and like making me call these people. And then when I talk to the people, like, I don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, make me an offer. And I was like, oh, so this is all really helping, because I was like, that's where I was getting stuck. Like, okay, I don't know how to make you an offer.
Right. So just make sure, like, so you have, when you're making offers, there's 3 different areas. Okay. So we deal with urban, suburban, and rural, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in urban areas, you're figuring out what properties are being bought for. You're not doing any math except for, like, let me give you an example. Like, I'm going to do a comp real quick for you oh, actually all of our comps, by the way, like if you go into this RReg, all divisions, you hit videos. Anyone that has a map like this is me doing a cash comps in a city. Like, so you could see, like, if it's an urban area, you can see how I do comping. So you could pull up any one of these videos and you can watch me do these are deal reviews. So I'll review, like, this was Pittsburgh, holy cow. But I'll review how, what exactly is going on. And I'll show you how I do my cash comps. Oh, this was in Pennsylvania, Sharon, PA. That's a crazy one. But like this is an urban area. See? And I show you how I do my comps.
Okay.
Yeah, so check out those videos, and you can learn how I'm doing those comps. And those are all, like I said, they're like, when you're in an urban area, you're not doing this 0.7 times ARV times 0.7 minus repairs minus 10,000 equals MAO, which is your maximum allowable offer.
Okay.
Where are you?
0.7.
Are you in this group?
I am not. I'm just learning about it, so I'm going to search for it now and then.
Where's your last name?
Talucci.
Well, I don't see you in here. Ah. What's your Facebook? Are you Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're not
Do
in
my
here.
name. Yeah. Let me see.
All right.
Rally.
Oh, maybe we're not friends.
We're not.
Yeah, do me a favor and can you give me a friend request?
I'm trying. So, okay, Rally Real Estate. Lo que quieras, mi amor. Espérame un segundo. I can find it.
No, that right here. MARYOTT.
MAR.
Cheerios? Can I talk with Cheerios?
¿Me puedes esperar un segundo?
¿Lo puedo tener?
¿Te puedes esperar?
Pero que estoy muy grande. ¿Puedo? ¿Sí o no? ¿Sí o
No.
¿No?
There you go.
There you are. Okay, cool. So now you're in this group. I can't believe you weren't in it before, but there's a lot of a lot of educational videos in here. But like I said, these ones are the comping videos that you can look at, and I'll put the thing here: urban cash comps minus 10K. So like, what can we sell it for minus 10K?
Okay.
And then suburbs, suburbs is ARV. You know what that means, right?
No, I do not.
After repair value.
Gotcha.
The after repair value times 0.7 minus repairs minus 10,000 equals MAO. Okay. So
Okay.
you have the two things. I mean, you also have rural, but rural is a different beast because it's the same as suburban, but different factors or valuation, like acreage. There's all sorts of factors. Like rural is just a pain in the butt to comp because it's, you know, like you might have a 4-acre property with a barn on it and it has like, you know, some other crazy element and it just gets a little difficult. So try to stick to urban and suburban and you're going to do just fine. Urban is the easiest way to comp because everything is the same. In suburban, you know, you're like, well, this house is a Victorian and that one is a rancher and that one is a split level. You know what I mean? Those are 3 very different style houses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus like a colonial or a bungalow, you know, all these different style houses, like we have to worry about that. In Philly, everything is either 2 stories or 3 stories. You know what I mean? And like they either have the front porch or they don't have the front porch.
Oh, no, I did not know that, but that's the easiest thing because they're all the same.
All the houses in Philly are very, very similar. So especially like, you know, from if you're in like a certain zip code, like you know, you really just have to worry about the square footage. I don't care about how many beds it says. If they're both 2-story, 1,200 square feet, then I'm using it as a comp.
Okay.
So yeah, we put a couple of videos in this group. I mean, there's always, like yesterday I was in here just talking about a lead that I was on the phone with right here, and then I went live about how to pull cash buyers, but that really doesn't really concern you. But you could watch it as educational if you want to.
I want to learn as much as I can. Like I said, I'm stuck right now because I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to start learning all these things.
So it's super important that you get really good at asking questions. And again, like all the questions that we really care about, they're right here. You know what I mean? So tell me about the property. Like you get somebody on the phone, it's like, hey, what's going on? I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Is the property for sale? Yes, I'm interested. You know, and then, okay, what can you tell me about the property? All right, cool. I got enough information there. You know what to ask on a property, right? You know,
right.
Like if it's a suburban area, I'm like, okay, tell me about the exterior. Like, how's the siding? How's the windows? How's the roof? What's the landscaping look like? Are there, you know, and then I go inside. Okay, let's talk about utilities. Like, you know, is it gas? Is it oil? There's all these different questions. But in Philly, that's another reason why Philly's great because everything's the same. You don't have to worry about septic tanks or, you know, we don't have to worry about if the house has gas or not. They're all the same. Every house has gas. Every house has city water, city sewer. You know.
Okay.
So this guy right here, I was trying to get him on the phone yesterday. I called at like 8:30 or 8:20 last night. I'm going to try again today. But I think like the questions I said, hey, can you find out a couple things? Is one, I got to find out like where does this house actually sit on the lot?
Are the ones that I sent you the pictures for?
Yeah, but those pictures really didn't show me like where
Right.
the property sits. You know what I mean? Like I can't really tell. So that's the one question I have is like, hey, do you have a survey? Number one, that would be helpful. And number two is, can I get city sewer on this street? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Did you drive by this property or no?
I did not because
Okay.
I asked you. Yeah, and you were like, "Don't worry
No,
about
that's fine. Yeah, no, we don't. It's fine. I just don't know. Like, so where is this house even? Like, okay, there it is. But where is it? No, that's not even it.
No, I don't think that's it. Like I tried to do the same thing. I couldn't find it at all.
Yeah, that's the problem when you have these like wooded lots. Like we basically can't, we really can't tell without going there and taking lots of really good pictures, you know, where the property sits. And, you know, this guy's got like this big driveway, like, you know, I guess the house is there, but where's the, so is it on this side? But then you pull out and you hit this map and, you know what I mean? But, oh, that was probably that guy. But if the house is like right here, like I said, if we could split this up into 3, then it makes a lot of sense at 235. But if we
See,
can't,
when you were asking me, like, because you said you're not asking the right questions, like, can you split the lot? I was like, is he fucking with me, or you can actually split the lot? Because I was totally lost.
yeah. Well, that's a like, so we're talking about Mount Laurel, and in Mount
Right.
Laurel, the houses in this neighborhood sell for like $400,000 and $500,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I'm able to buy this little crappy 2-bedroom, fix that up, sell it for, you know, actually it didn't really need too much, but maybe you sell it for 200 or 175. Then we split off those 2 lots, and we could either maybe we could sell them for, you know, a couple, maybe we could sell them for like, it depends. So here's the big kicker. If there is city sewer on the street, then we could sell those lots for about 80,000 each. If there's not, they're only worth 50 each.
Oh, okay.
But even if they're worth 50 each, like let's say we spend 235 on the house. You know what I mean? So 235. And then we gotta then we split them off, and so that's basically $100,000, 50,000 each. So the ARV is really worth, well, like what's that house worth? I guess it's like let's call it 200. So the ARV is only 300,000. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
But let's
day,
say the house is not, it's on the side, but not like too far, like where you can split the lot in 2. Will that still be good, or it has to be in 3?
well, if I could split it into 2, like I better there's got to be sewer. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm gonna probably have to do an addition on that house. If I do an addition there, then I could sell that house for like 300 and a new construction for 400. You know, so then it's just different factors. So the one thing I really can't make an offer without knowing that I can split it or not. So if the guy has a survey, great. Sometimes I'll just Google it, Mount Laurel surveys. I don't know. Survey lookup. I always Google stuff, you know.
Right.
Tax assessor office. Mount Laurel tax records. Yeah.
So you can go online and actually find the surveys there?
Sometimes. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You really don't know, you know, what's what. Yeah, I don't think you can. So, you know, some of the areas in Burlington are really, really good, and some of them are really bad.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, any other questions while you got me?
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna try to do this. Oh yes, I do actually have a question. So let me see, what's the other one? He also asked me to call this lady. She's tough, but she is talking to me. Cortel, Cortel is the last name. Machesa or something like that. Cortel.
Cortel. Cortel?
Try. So try Cartel. No. Hold on. Let me find her.
Carter?
No, it's oh yeah, that one. Marchesa something. Yes.
Carter.
Oh, sorry. No.
Well, are you talking to her or not?
I am talking to her. She asked me to give her a call tomorrow because she wasn't feeling good today. And that's another lead. Like he's sending me, he's like, work on this. And I'm like, oh, what do you want me to do? Like,
Well, try to get a listing, you know? So again, so all this stuff is about trying to, we really just got to figure out what they want. You know what I mean? So don't go in with the attitude like, hey, I just want to get a listing, because, you know, maybe they don't want to list it. So we just got to ask the right questions. So like Miss Marquesa, like tell me about the property. You know, what do you want to do? Tell me about the condition. You know, is it in good condition, bad condition? You know what I mean? Actually, on my in the Facebook group, I record a lot of my calls, and I put them in there so you can hear what I'm trying to do.
okay.
So like for example, I can go, oh, this one right here, Vi Hall. Shoot. I think she was on a drip. I hope not. Yeah, I think she was. No, okay. What? Yeah, stop the campaign. All right, this is mine. So you can go here. And listen to the call that I made, and in files. You see at the bottom here?
Yeah.
So you can listen to that call and you can hear what I did. Now, this was, normally I'll record my calls on CallRail, but this one I didn't record it. So I got her on the phone. So I basically went to QuickTime and I like did a, so you could just hear like how I go about asking questions. And for this lady, like I wasn't trying to get the condition of the house. Like the house sometimes doesn't even matter. It's mainly about focusing on, I'm really trying to figure out what they want to do.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what they really want, and I'm trying to deliver them the experience that they want. So this lady might be a listing. I really don't know yet. But you know, her husband actually died on Friday from the coronavirus.
Oh God.
Yeah. They're in quarantine until Wednesday.
Gotcha.
You know, so like you really just have to figure out what the people want and kind of deliver that. Like sometimes it's a face-to-face appointment. You know, like this lady, I think like she's going through a lot of stuff, and I just want to make sure that she understands. And in this call out, I was like, listen, you know, I want to make sure that you don't, this whole process is not a burden for you. I want to make sure that you're, you know, getting everything that you need. Will help you. You know, she wants to move. It's like, so her husband dies, taking care of all the bills and everything. So like, she's not used to having to handle this type of situation.
Right.
Selling a house, she doesn't even know how to pay the mortgage. So I was like, you know, I just like, your head must be spinning right now. I tried to like, you know, basically give her some tactical empathy. I tried to empathize with her, and I labeled her basically. These are all different techniques. So I labeled her. I said, hey, your head must be spinning right now. You're handling a lot. Like, here's what I want to do. I want to, you know, make sure that you're going to get to your 2-bedroom condo. I want to make sure, like, I try to figure out, okay, what's next? What happens when you sell the house? Where are you going to go? Cool. Like, are you leaving the state? No, my mom lives in town. So does my sister. Awesome. So you want to find a place close by, you know? And then I'm really trying to figure out what kind of experience that these people want. And the big motivator question always is this right here. What happens if you don't sell the house? You know? So for the guy that asking 349, a great question to ask him is like, so what happens if you don't get 349? Oh, I'm never going to sell. Well, then you're never going to sell. That's cool too. You don't have to sell, but you're never getting 349.
Gotcha. Right.
But that's the best motivator question that there is. You know, what I always ask that, like, what happens when you sell? What does that mean? Okay, well, I mean, like, okay, let's say we get under contract, you know, we go to the closing table, like, what happens? Like, where do you go? Oh, I'm going to move into a 2-bedroom condo. Okay, cool. So it seems like you know, oh, okay, a place that, you know, you don't want a lot of maintenance at, like it's easy. Yes. Okay, awesome. Well, you know, have you ever, qualify for a mortgage, anything like that? No. Okay, look, we're going to walk you through the process. We'll get you qualified for a mortgage. We'll help you find something that's, a 2-bedroom condo. And now we got a buyer for a 2-bedroom condo. We got a mortgage lead. You know what I mean? And we're going to sell this lady's house. So either we're going to list it or we're going to buy it with wholesale, which I don't think we can buy it with wholesale because our mortgage balance is $150 and it's in Sicklerville. So, at the end of the day, I think it's only worth probably about $175 total.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what? So find out what they want, figure out, get really good at listening, get really good at asking questions, really try to figure out, like, what do these people want? Is it money? Is it time? You know what I mean? You know why people choose the wholesale route? Because we're able to give them exactly what they want. Whether it's like, you could leave all the shit in your house. Like, your mom just died. I'm really sorry to hear that. So, man, it must be crazy. You're dealing with a lot. Like, one of the benefits from going with a cash offer is, like, you could just sell it as is and you can leave everything there. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to broom sweep it. You know what I mean? You could just basically just sign and get your check and go. You don't have to make repairs. You know what I mean? It's nice and easy.
Gotcha.
And it's fast. But if you want to get more money, if money's more important, like if you look, Vi, like I'll talk to her, I'll say, Vi, look, you got $150,000 on mortgage. If I give you a cash offer, we're only talking about $85,000. That means you have to pay pay off the mortgage after I give you the $85,000. You got to pay off that rest. And that happens right at, like, you got to pay at the closing table. You're going to pay 85 or 75,000. So I don't think that's a smart option for you. I don't even think that is an option unless you got, an extra 75 grand laying around. But the option here, I think what's going to be best for you guys is if we basically go through, we could either sell it on the market as is. You know what I mean? You don't have to do anything. We sell on the market, but understand that you're not going to get the full market value because people buying as is properties like to buy at a little bit of a discount, typically like 10%. So whatever you think the house is going to appraise for, we're going to get 90% of that. All right. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we get somebody to push it up a little bit, but at the end of the day, like that's what's going to happen. We've been through enough transactions to know that. We sold bank owned properties. The other option you could do is you can clean up all your stuff, declutter. You could fix like all the little things, do a little touch up paint, maybe you do like, spend a little bit of money and time, and then you can get this much money. You know what I mean? So it all depends on what you want to do and what kind of experience do you want? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is like me talking to sellers. So it's always time versus money.
Okay. Yeah, I got it clear now.
Right. And then make sure you're always presenting multiple options.
Okay.
I could buy it for cash. We could wholesale it. We could list it. We could list it as is. We could list it, if you want to, spend a little bit of money and fix it up, we could do that. It's up to you.
So wait, what's the difference between buying it from cash and wholesale? Or is not that what it is?
Well, I mean, wholesaling it may so some people like, for example, they'll come to us and they'll say, like, I'll say my max offer is 60. And like, they're like, well, I really want, I have to get 75 and it has to be cash. I'll say, look, man, if you really want 75, I say, I think I might be able to get somebody at 60, at 75 cash buyer. That's called a wholesale. I'm going to push it out to my contacts, and then we're going to see what we can do. In order for us to do that, I can't just do that. And they'll answer will be like, yeah, just do that. Bring me a buyer. I'm like, nah, legally I can't. Like, you got to sign something with me. What I can promise you is I'm not going to waste your time. All right. So if I know we got something, then great. But if we don't have anything, I can let you know probably if we're good to go in about a week or two. This COVID thing's crazy, but probably like 2 weeks, we'll know if we're good or not. But at the end of the day, like, that's called, that's assigning a contract. We have to get it under contract, and then we'll assign it to whatever investor that we find for your property.
So they're signing the contract with you and you're transferring the property to the buyer.
Yeah, you're just assigning the contract.
Okay.
And then the buyer closes on it. That's when the actual property transfers. So.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's when like guys just want a little bit more than your max offer and say, look, man, it's a little outside. Even if they go 2,000 over, you know, say your max offer is 60. So if my max offer is 60, I'm never going to tell them on my first offer. I'm never going to say, hey, I can do 60. You know what I mean? I'm always going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm framing the offer and everything like that. So you really, you know, a lot of this is in the training that was recorded. But you're going in and you're not just making offers. You're saying, look, if you want to, you know, get to the 2-bedroom apartment, if you want us to buy the property with all the stuff in here as is, we'll make it very easy. We'll close whenever you want. You know, I'm probably gonna, you know, if it works for you, I'll be able to do 53,500. You know what I mean? And then just kind of stay silent. And then they'll say, well, can you do 65? You know, I'm at 100 or whatever. Can you do 65? So I'll say, okay, well, look, at 65, it's over where I'm comfortable at. You know, I know some guys that might be able to do 65. There's some guys that you know, in my circles, I've been an investor for a long time. You know, if you want to get something done at 65, I'm more than, you know, we can sign a contract at 65, but there's, you know, again, it's outside of my buying zone. So it's, you're basically pushing into an area that, you know, we're not buyers at, right? But I still think I can get you to the closing table and get you 65. And what that looks like is me finding, you know, hooking up with another investor that I know, and then assigning the contract to them.
Okay.
Okay. So 65, that's the number you really want. Look, I won't waste your time. We can look at that. We could look at trying to get that in a couple weeks, you know, and see what happens.
Gotcha.
But all this is being recorded, so hopefully, and then you can go back and listen to this and look at this. But a lot of the trainings are in that original email, the training email. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Well, yeah. Text me if you need anything, and just continue to, you know, push and just tag me. And this is the process in learning is you're gonna fail and make mistakes, but that's okay. All right. So it's important that you take the actions though.
Okay. Will do.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. You're welcome. I'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.